Anyone else for public input tonight? Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Chad Bishop. I live at 7405 South Valencia Drive here in Sioux Falls. Tonight I'm asking you to alter the city's COVID-19 vaccine outreach campaign to inform parents of their ability to screen their child for prior immunity before having any of the COVID-19 vaccines administered to them. In addition, I'm asking for you to consider subsidizing screening for prior immunity by reimbursing families for SARS-CoV-2 antibody or adaptive T-cell response assays so they might know their immune status. The risk is not zero. 7 weeks ago now, I sat with my mother, father, and his primary care physician here in Sioux Falls. We reviewed the results of his electroencephalogram and the neurologist summary. The EEG obtained in an awake state is abnormal, demonstrating occasional epileptiform discharges over the central parietal region. This represents an area of cortical irritability and potential seizure focus. No electrographic seizures were identified. My younger sister and her family first witnessed the presentation of what the doctor said were likely epileptic petit mal or absence seizures on March 14th of 2021. This is 11 days after his first dose of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine. He had never presented these symptoms prior to that day. I first witnessed him seize on May 10th of 2021. We were in Culvers on North Louise here in Sioux Falls. He could not walk, could not hear me. He did not blink. He just slowly slid down the wall to the floor as my mother and I tried to hold him. It was as terrifying as it was heart-wrenching. At the previously mentioned appointment, the physician stated that our eyewitness accounts and the results of the EEG met the requirements for reporting to VAERS, and he would file my father's case. Now, we're relatively intelligent people. We understand that wet sidewalks do not make it rain. However, you usually start looking for fire where there's smoke. The Journal of Neuroimmunology states it this way: healthcare providers should be aware of the possibility of post-vaccination epilepsy. This process took us 9 months. You have some insight into how persistent I can be. Imagine a family less persistent dealing with this. How many stopped asking questions? How many were shamed into silence and compliance with the propaganda that came forth over the last couple of years? How many doctors wouldn't even pursue it as a possibility? On February 28th, the New York Times published an article entitled "Pfizer Shot is Far Less Effective in 5 to 11-year-olds than in older kids, New Data Shows." It's disappointing, but not entirely surprising, given this is a vaccine developed in response to an earlier variant, said Eli Rosenberg, Deputy Director of Science in the New York State Department of Health, who led the study. It looks very distressing to see this rapid decline, but it's again all against Omicron. The question here is benefit as opposed to risk. Children are at less risk, and especially so if they've already recovered. I'm asking you to once again consider helping them to screen before administration of the vaccine. Thank you.
Thanks, Chad. Anyone else here tonight for public input? All right. Are you here, ma'am? Come on up.